Well, the Holy Father said that the lady would recover soon and they would not need his services soon. The maid thanked him and wished him a safe journey. Alicia didn't understand anything. Izzy asked if the mistress was hungry. She made tomato soup, which is good for digestion. Or maybe the mistress wants to take a bath first? Alicia refused, thanking the woman. She still can't figure out what's going on. What did Izzy mean when she said they almost lost the girl? The girl doesn't remember what happened. It was as if she had woken up after a long sleep, but had forgotten what was in that dream. Perhaps the lady had a strange dream because of the heat? But why can't the girl remember anything? Everything is in a fog. Don't worry so much, madam, the maid reassured the girl. If she forgot something, then it wasn't worth her attention. Isadora seems to be right. Alicia thanked her again. The woman said it was her duty to take care of the mistress. She also made beef stew with stewed tomatoes. It sounds amazing. It seems that Alicia is hungry after all. What's wrong? Izzy said that Alicia never liked beef. It's amazing that the girl is happy to taste meat. Really? The girl does not recall such a thing. The servants were so worried when the mistress ate only salad. She seems to have developed an appetite after her illness. That's great, Izzy said. She was going to bring Alicia something to eat. Strange. For some reason, the girl is disgusted by the salad and the very thought of it disgusts her. Alicia asked how long she had been asleep. The last thing she remembered were the bright autumn leaves. It seems that the girl did not fully come to her senses. Although it's cool outside now, it's still summer outside. Izzy said that Alicia had been unconscious for about a week. Even the medicine prescribed by the doctor did not help the lady. They tried to give the girl some soup, but she immediately threw up. Everyone was so worried about her. So she hasn't been awake for a week? No wonder everything around her seems strange. Besides, Alicia is always sick at this time of the year. But why couldn't she get that priest's face out of her head? He looked tired. He must not have slept much while he was taking care of her. The maid asked if her mistress was listening and asked the girl to concentrate. Alicia just realized that she hadn't really thanked that priest. If the girl means the Holy Father, Izzy said. He serves at a monastery that a woman once visited. He prayed for the lady's recovery all night. They are all so grateful to him. Really? It was a pity that she didn't have time to thank him. The girl said that it was necessary to find out where this monastery was located. Alicia will ask her father to make a donation. Suddenly, the girl's father burst into the room. Duke Theodore Cercelian. He was so happy that his daughter had woken up. Alicia's father immediately started asking how she was feeling, if she was feeling better. Did the girl's arms and legs go numb? His daughter said that everything was fine. Izzy began to grumble at the man, because she needed complete peace. The girl's father was just very happy to see that she finally woke up. Thank the goddess that Alicia is feeling better. Her father said that if he had lost her, he would hardly have been able to survive it. The death of Alicia's mother had hit him hard. The Duke said he had prepared a gift for his daughter. He waited for her to wake up. He remembers that his daughter loves butterfly brooches. And as soon as he saw this brooch, he immediately thought of her. How is it possible? Why does this brooch seem so familiar to the girl? It's the first time she's seen it, but this is the shape and color of the brooch. It was as if she had already been given this many years ago. This brooch. Was it real? The girl screamed. Lady Alicia, the maid said, "What's the matter with you? Are you in pain?" Alicia clutched her head. How? How could she have forgotten? After everything they've done to her. How could she just forget about everything? Those bastards. That evening, the girl's father asked how Ellie was doing. It doesn't seem to be going well. The girl does not eat anything and refuses to get out of bed. The Duke said he needed to find out what had scared his daughter so much. If only Alicia would talk to them. Suddenly there was a knock on the door. "Father, may I come in?" It was Ellie. The Duke told his daughter that if she needed anything, she could just call them. She still hasn't fully recovered from her illness. She's really better, but she came to talk. Alicia doesn't even know where to start. She needs to show them something first. She asked them not to be too scared. Izzy asked why Ellie was taking off her clothes. Suddenly, the servant and the Duke were taken aback. What's wrong with his daughter's back? Where did the scar come from? It seems it's time to explain everything. The fact is, she said, she had already died once. Now it is not clear how she returned to the past. Izzy was crying. How dare these creatures do this to a sweet girl? Vile creatures. The goddess will definitely punish them. They will answer for their sins. God, what are they going to do? After all that Lady Alicia has been through. Did the Crown Prince and Archbishop Libentius do this to the Duke's daughter? The temple will announce the prophecy soon, the girl said. It seems that this time it will choose Saint Ellie for the role. The young lady asked the maid if the circumstances were such that she would be forced to run away. Where would Izzy go? Well, Isadora would have run away to a monastery. But why a monastery? There is no more secluded place in the world. In addition, the servants of God are exempt from paying taxes and military service. Precisely. Izzy is absolutely right. This is a chance for Alicia. The maid doesn't want Ellie to become a saint again. The girl has grown up. Of course, Isadora is ready to break into the throne room right now and give these bastards a hard time. The lady's father is very worried. He's trying to find a way to interfere with the palace. It seems there is a way out now. Alicia is not completely sure, but at least she knows where to start. The girl's father bought all the books on theology that he could find. But what is Alicia going to do with them? Does she want to read all these books? She only needs those books that are related to the prophecy of the saint. Ellie had heard that many years ago there was another prophecy predicting the birth of a saint. But not all women matching the description were chosen as candidates. She is sure that in these books she will find a way to avoid this. Her father said he would do everything possible to ensure that the prophecy did not affect his daughter in any way. Ellie stopped him. The Duke did the same thing last time. He did everything to prevent Alicia from becoming a saint. He donated a lot of money to the temple, personally begged His Eminence. But Alicia had no choice. Because that was Libentius's will. Unless they disfigure Ellie's face beyond recognition right now. Otherwise, she will remain the perfect saint that Libentius dreams of. My dear father, the girl said. There is less than 6 months left before they announce the prophecy. Every girl with golden hair and blue eyes, regardless of origin and residence, will be subjected to a temple inspection. She asked her father to do something that would protect her entire family. Ellie's father agreed, but asked her to eat well. Izzy is worried about the mistress. The servants were standing outside the door when the Duke came out. She said that at times like this, Alicia reminded her of Duchess Elena. Lady Alicia is just as stubborn. Ellie lost her mother early. This made the little girl grow up quickly. Alicia has practically lost her childhood. And even now she does not allow herself to be discouraged. How can the Duke protect his little daughter? Later, Duke Sorcelian discussed state issues with an unknown man. His Highness Andrea should be the next emperor. But suddenly His Majesty decided to choose Victor. His Majesty is getting worse every day. Most likely, the Archbishop, seeing an opportunity, immediately began to act. For now, it's better for no one to stick out and watch everything from the sidelines. If they cross the road to the palace, they will be hit. Is inaction the best thing they can do right now? What if something happens to Ellie during this time? If the Duke goes against Crown Prince Victor right now to protect Alicia, then it can cause the girl even more harm. Even if he sent his daughter to the ends of the earth, they would still get to her. As long as the imperial family and the church have unlimited power, they have no chance. Not to mention that they don't have any information about the saint who came down from heaven. Elena. Please, said the girl's father. Give strength to the Duke and Alicia. Help protect their daughter. Ellie spent days studying books. And she finally found it. According to the Holy Scriptures, a nun or a virgin serving the goddess cannot be considered a saint. Ellie should become a nun. How cruel fate is. It turns out that in order for her not to become a saint, she must devote herself to the service of the goddess. The day came when Alicia had to leave home. The girl's family was heartbroken by this. There's nothing you can do about it, but for now, everything must remain a secret. Let no one know, not even the servants. Let everyone think that Ellie disappeared in the middle of the night without saying a word. Izzy is so sorry that they have to say goodbye so soon. Ellie would never wake up to Isadora's warm touch again. She would no longer be able to get up and walk down the hall to see her father. She must say goodbye to the Sorcelian estate, where she was born and raised. Alicia will devote her life to the service of the goddess. Although there is not a drop of piety in the girl, as she thinks. Heaven is probably punishing her for this. Or maybe this is her punishment. But Ellie is ready to give up everything she has in order to survive. Survive at any cost. And protect everything she holds dear. Alicia walked through the rainy, cold forest. It was raining incredibly hard outside. It doesn't make any sense. She was sure that the monastery must be somewhere nearby. But why can't the girl find him? She was tired. Ellie wanted a fresh start. But now she feels like nothing has changed. Although she managed to escape, the girl ended up only in a puddle of mud. What should she do now? A nun appeared in front of Alicia. It turns out she has guests. The woman came to check where the noise was coming from. Praise the goddess, so the girl was in the right place. She asked her sister to listen to her. Does the woman mind if? The woman also said that the golden-haired girl in front of her was probably tired while getting here. Why don't they take cover first? In the monastery, Alicia noticed how empty it was inside. Isn't there anyone else here? The nun offered the girl a hot stew. Now the woman was wondering what had brought the young girl to this modest monastery. Ellie fell to her knees and asked her sister to let her stay here. Alicia is not whimsical. She can live in the barn or even in the stable if she has to. The woman realized that it looked like a young girl was in a difficult situation. There is always a place in the monastery for those who need it, especially for women who seek protection from the goddess. Unfortunately, the girl's bed will creak. And on rainy days like today, you'll have to use buckets and plates because the roof leaks. But they are not so poor as to refuse a girl in trouble. There is no priest in this monastery. After Father Michelando died 16 years ago, visits to the central temple stopped. There were only 2 nuns in the monastery. But now, Sister Ellie has become a novice. There were no parishioners in this monastery, unless a lost traveler could accidentally wander in here. And this place became Alicia's salvation. Of course, it wasn't easy for her at first. In all the time that the girl was a lady of the House of Sorcelian and a saint, she had never had to do manual labor. But she likes it here. One night, Dorothy's sister found Ellie on the street. A woman shouldn't have gone outside, Alicia said. It's pretty cold today, and the nun hasn't been feeling well lately." The woman said that everything was fine. That night reminded Dorothy's sister of the night she found Ellie in the woods. Even then, she was wondering how the eyes of such a young girl could express the remorse that is usually found in the gaze of old people who have seen life. Then she immediately realized that Ellie would stay with them for a long time. As if they had a new family member, they were so glad to see Alicia. Ellie was also incredibly happy to find a new home. They have no idea how much. But she's curious about something too. Sister Dorothy's gaze is so kind and warm, but when she turns away, deep sadness is reflected in it. She would like to know the reason. Is that why they didn't leave her that night and took care of her all the time? Sister Dorothy said it was time for them to go back inside. What happened? Is she okay? She shouldn't have gone outside. It looks like winter is coming soon. Winters in the monastery are harsh, so it is better to prepare in advance. Dorothy's sister soon became very ill. Her fever doesn't go away, she's getting worse. What should they do? Is there really nothing left in the monastery that could help? There are no medicines left. Due to the heavy snowstorm, they didn't have the opportunity to go for medicines. There's not even a hospital nearby. There must be a way out. Currently, the bishop is in the monastery of Arcelio, not so far from here. Isidore and Ellie, with their father's help, sent donations every month. Alicia filled in the name of His Eminence. Edwin. That's right, he prayed for her while she was sick. Ellie is sure that he will agree to help them as soon as he finds out about their problem. Ellie told Sister Irene that she needed to go somewhere. But Dorothy's sister is seriously ill, and the night is not far off. Alicia apologized to her sister, but she knows only one place where they can be helped. Which place does she want to go to? And at such a late hour? To the monastery of Arcelio. Arcelio is not only the largest monastery in the region. It is also located closest to the capital, and Ellie is almost sure that there will be medicines there. But how could she get there? Ride a horse for at least a day. Sister Alicia said she would think of something. She asked her to look after Dorothy's sister. The woman on the bed woke up. She lost Ellie. Sister Irene told that Sister Alicia had gone to the monastery for help. Sister Dorothy said that the two of them needed to discuss something about Sister Alicia. You can't sit idly by. She prayed to the goddess. Ellie must do everything in her power to save Dorothy's sister. The girl asked the man for help, but he refused her. He doesn't have a horse strong enough to get to the capital and back. Not to mention this infernal snowfall. The man said there was nothing he could do to help. Alicia asked him to help. She was ready to repay doubly. The man got angry. Hey! Suddenly, another man appeared behind the girl. Mr. Nathan. He recognized Ellie. He can't believe his eyes. Why is Alicia in a tattered nun outfit? His family has an estate nearby. He was going there, but he heard a noise at the stable and decided to check. Jaron is so glad to see Ellie. She can't seem to breathe in his arms. So, if Jaron is here. She pulled away from the guy a little and said she needed his help. He immediately agreed. They reached the monastery of Arcelio. Mr. Nathan asked if Alicia would like to go to the monastery with him. He would be happy to accompany her. Ellie refused and thanked Jaron. He's already done more than he needs to. Suddenly, a man's voice was heard from behind. It was Edwin. He looked at them with displeasure. Do they have a decent explanation for why they are at the monastery at such an hour? Mr. Nathan said they have a case. Is that a problem? They came so boldly to the end of the morning mass, so yes, that's a problem. Alicia ran to Father Edwin. She begged to give them some time, because she has something to say. He pulled it away. It seems that the girl has not yet received the upbringing of a nun. The servant is still a nun. Had she forgotten the rule that says that a nun cannot be alone with a man? Jaron exclaimed that their relationship with Ellie could not be reduced to such a cruel one. Alicia immediately offered her most sincere apologies to His Eminence. She rushed here on an urgent matter and chose an inappropriate way. What? Mr. Nathan did not understand anything. Ellie said she was a novice studying at the Monastery of the Opera. In the Monastery of the Opera? This place is abandoned by the Central Pantheon. Edwin had heard that 2 nuns were looking after him. Alicia continued. Dorothy's sister is on the verge of death. She and Sister Irene can't help. Therefore, Dorothy's sister's health deteriorated greatly. The goddess calls them brothers and sisters by God's will. If that's true, then they're all family. The girl begged him to have mercy and help save Dorothy's sister. Well, a novice giving a senior clergyman a lesson in religious dogmas. She really is something special, Edwin thought. Alicia apologized. It was a mistake. She is not yet an official representative of the church. How could you be such a fool to talk to a clergyman like that? Jaron said Edwin was too harsh. Ellie abruptly remarked that it was better for him to leave, right now. She thanked Mr. Nathan for helping her get here. Monsignor, the girl said, wait, please, I'll explain. Why waste time if they need to find medicines now? What? Will he help? Edwin asked, what are the symptoms of Dorothy's sister? Alicia blushed. Forgive me, Monsignor, she cried out. She stumbled. Father Edwin was giving orders quickly. He found a doctor and nuns to provide medical care. And then he sent them to the Monastery of the Opera. One of the nuns asked Sister Alicia to give her time to talk. Her name was Sarah, the youngest nun of the Archelio Monastery. Ellie agreed, of course. And she asked if Dorothy's sister was okay. It's all right, Dorothy's sister is resting now. The worst is over. Now we just have to wait for her to recover. Thank God, what a relief. From now on, the Archelio Monastery will regularly help and take care of the nuns' health. And they will also keep order in the monastery, so Sister Alicia has nothing to worry about. It was Edwin's father's order. It took His Holiness a minute to assess the situation. Suddenly, Sister Alicia was called inside. It was Irene's sister. Sister Dorothy came to her senses and was already feeling much better. Sister Alicia wanted to go to the bed, but the nun immediately stopped her. She said they had to ask Alicia to pack her things and leave the surgery immediately. What? Did she get it right? The girl was stunned. They must have spoken incorrectly. Why should she leave the surgery? Irene said that Ellie could no longer be their novice. The girl fell at her sister's feet. Let them give at least a reason. If there is no food in the monastery, she will be content with what she has. Even if there are very small portions of food. Her presence will be unnoticeable, Alicia said in tears. Sister Irene said that Ellie ran away while her sister was sick. But it was for her salvation. She knows. It was reckless and she didn't even bother to explain to them. They can't live side by side with such an egoist. Alicia tearfully begged Sister Dorothy to say something. But the woman just turned away silently. Alicia has nowhere to go. They told her that night that this place would help a girl in trouble. So it was a lie. It can't be that all those smiles were fake. Sister said that she corresponded with Father Edwin. She said to discuss everything with His Eminence. The woman asked Edwin's father to accept Alicia. So now the girl can leave. Ellie excused herself and walked away from the monastery. She needed to be alone. Jaron got out of the carriage. He asked if everything was okay. He apologized because he didn't want to eavesdrop, but they were pretty harsh. Duke Nathan said it was for the best and she could go home to her father. Alicia asked him to shut up, but he didn't seem to hear her. And to be honest, he said he didn't like that Ellie was a nun. She told him to shut up. She exhaled, but her hands were shaking. This has nothing to do with Jeroen. Let him just leave. He didn't have to go with Alicia. Ellie left him. Sorry, Jeroen, she thought. She knows that he thought she was sleeping in the carriage. There, Duke Nathan told her that he would always be with her. She's sorry, but she won't be able to reciprocate his feelings. At least not when her loved ones abandoned her. Again. This is the last time she opens her heart to someone. Suddenly, Father Edwin appeared behind her. Has she finished crying yet? He asked. He was looking for Alicia. The girl apologized for running away without explaining herself. But that's not why he's here. Edwin wanted to say that he clearly remembers saying that he would not like to see Alicia anymore. But he was surprised that Ellie decided to become a novice. Why did she decide to go down this path? He remembers her, but more importantly, whether he will accept her depends on the answer. What should she do if Father Edwin rejected her too? If she finds it difficult to answer this question, then he will ask another question. Did she really want to become a novice? Does he want to reject her? But this is her last hope. Yes. She really wanted to become a novice. She had to. He can send her away, he can tell her that she is forbidden. But she will do everything in her power to become a nun. Because she has to live to get revenge. This is the only way. He turned away and told Alicia to follow him. What? It was that simple. No more questions? What are they for? She said herself that she wanted to become a nun no matter what. Novice Alicia, the priest said, you should know that I hate repeating myself. He had already received written permission from Irene's sister and asked what the girl wanted. He already has a lot to do. It seems to him that he has spent more time than he needs. Stop. Written permission? She doesn't seem to know about it. However, she would have found out anyway. Therefore, Edwin will give the letter to Alicia now. A letter? For the girl, all the letters brought only bad news. The letter read, to our dear Monsignor Edwin Anderson. Father, please accept my sincere thanks for coming all this way. I understand that the trip here was not easy, but I hope that this letter will not burden you. You understand that there was no one to help the two old nuns. Therefore, I express my respect to you with this letter. I'm sure you already know that Sister Irene and I lived in the opera house, maintaining peace, waiting for the day when the Heavenly Mother would call us. However, at the end of last summer, we had Alicia. During the last time we spent with the young lady, we had one wish. So that she doesn't live alone anymore. We don't want to leave Ellie alone in an empty monastery. She still needs help. Your Eminence, I ask you to have mercy on us. Please be generous. And, Ellie, if you ever read this letter, know that I've always wanted to say this. Alicia, I sincerely hope that one day you will be free from the burden you carry. A person must survive a harsh winter before he can face spring. I'm sure that day will come to you soon. I had a daughter who left this world prematurely because she had a bad mother. I did everything I could to save her. And she spent the rest of her days trying to make amends. And then, on a rainy night, I came across a young girl in the forest. Dear Alicia, you were the spring for my harsh winter. We agreed to have a picnic when it gets warmer. So I'm sorry for throwing you out the door. But if we do not do this, then you will not part with the monastery of the opera. Ellie, I pray that you will find people who will make you free. And I'm sending my rosary along with the letter. May the goddess always protect you with this. Dearly in love, Sister Dorothy. Have you finished crying? The priest asked. Alicia apologized. She asked if she could say goodbye to her sisters for the last time. He didn't do that in her place. She must understand how difficult it was for them to expose the young lady in this way. He said he was going back to the monastery of Arcelio. He doesn't have that much free time. But the decision is up to Alicia. She'll go. Wherever Father Edwin went, she would follow him.